Well, hello, everybody. I know some of you have been here for a little bit. You were here early, awesome. And some of you are just hopping in. We're going to get started here in about 1 minute, but I wanted to just go over a couple of things. Is one, make sure everybody can hear me okay. Two, I'm going to flip on my camera here in just a second. And three, this is recorded. So if you need to hop off or you're multitasking or you want to go back and watch it, the recording has been started. If you just hopped in, make sure that you say hello. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that where you're from. If you have questions along the way, we'll be using the chat feature and we'll get started here in just about 1 minute. All right, everybody. I love that, Justin, the 1 minute countdown. I should have a countdown like 10, 9, 8. Well, y'all, we're ready to get started. So, welcome, y'all, welcome. I wanted to make sure that I said hello, that you got to see my face. We're just so excited to have y'all kicking off your term here with SNHU. And we got a lot of stuff to cover today. But again, like I've mentioned a couple of times, this is recorded, so don't stress if you're multitasking or you have to hop off. We're going to cover a lot of content about getting started, and this webinar is for students that are starting classes here this next Monday, October 28th, whether you're taking SNHU 107 or IDS 105. I cannot see the chat as I am live in this format, so I do have my phone to the side of me with the chat on it. So I'll try to catch your questions and stuff as they come up. But most things I'm going to answer as we get started today. All right. So are y'all excited? Give me some emojis, like some high fives, some thumbs up, something to tell me that y'all are here and wake you up. And spending this lunch hour time with us. Okay, there they are. Perfect. That makes me super happy. So first and foremost, your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It's our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of instruction or course design that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, the OAC, as soon as possible at phone number 866-305-9430, or you can email them at oac@snhu.edu or visit the Online Accessibility Center website. Learners, what does this mean for you? The Online Accessibility Center team is a department here at SNHU that is available to help you get content. This could be classroom content, this could be webinar content like what we're doing today, in a way that works best for you and your learning style. If you have questions about this, if you want to know more about it, reach out directly to the OAC team, or your advisor can also connect you, okay? So, couple of just housekeeping items. You don't need a microphone or camera. They're not enabled for these sessions. We are in an academic space, so always be mindful of your conduct. These webinars are not graded. So you are going to see learning community webinars for both SNHU 107 and IDS 105 every week of the term. You don't have to watch them. However, the webinars will go over how to do assignments from week to week. They'll talk about concepts that you're working on in your courses. Sometimes we just need somebody to show us where to click, how to find something, and walk us through a concept. That is what these webinars will do from week to week, okay? These webinars are offered in both an on-demand, which is a pre-recorded version, and a live version like we are today. So not every session is live. Not every session is going to be like today, all right? So just know that when there's a live session, you'll have a Teams login link. It'll be emailed out to your university email. It'll be posted in your classroom spaces for you to attend as you're able. Any live sessions are always recorded and they're available within 24 hours that live session ending, okay? We know you're busy. We can't always have the best time for everybody. So this way you can watch these webinars at your convenience. No matter what, every single week, there will be a webinar that is live Monday morning in your dedicated first year experience YouTube pages for IDS 105 or SNHU 107 for you to hop on and watch at any point that you want to throughout the week, and it'll help you walk through your assignments from week to week. Okay, so does that make sense? Kind of what the webinars are and why you're here. So who am I? Hello, I am Melanie Shop. I am your learning community gal. So I facilitate all the webinars every single week for both SNHU 107 and IDS 105. Plus, I create these little really super quick, they're called focus videos for both classes that just walk you through very basic things like how to find your discussion board, how to submit an assignment, just stuff like that. Sometimes you just need kind of a few little clicks, but you want them to be quick. So we have focus videos for both classes, and we have webinars, which are longer and more detailed. So this is me. Hello. I do teach classes and sections of SNHU 107 and IDS 105. So I'm an adjunct faculty member. I work with the first year experience program here at SNHU, and I'm an academic partner. What does that mean? It means that I not only get to work with you amazing students, but I also get to work with your absolutely incredible faculty and the instructors who are going to be teaching your class. So I work in curriculum development. I get to do the learning community. I have been in higher education for over 20 years. And when I say that out loud, oh, wow. But I absolutely love what I do. This is my family. This is me. I feel like sometimes when we take classes online, it can be easy to forget that there's humans behind the screen. So I like you all to see my face and learn a little bit about me. So I live just outside sunny Pensacola, Florida, in the Gulf Shores area. I love the water, beach, pool, river, lake. It doesn't matter. I'm a part-time mermaid, but I also am an avid cyclist. I'm a big road bike fan. I love to read. I have had some famous authors in some of my classes, which is super exciting. So if you're a reader, I always love recommendations of all across the genres for books. I love coffee. I love spending time with my loved ones. I'm a mom to two boys. They're 13 and 10. They keep me on my toes for sure. Those teenagers, man. But the biggest thing I want you to know is that I'm a resource for you. The learning community is for you. So the learning community is a space completely outside of your classroom. Now, do you guys know where to find your classes? Like, what is that called? Pop quiz, right? Right. Your classes are found in what's called Brightspace. Very good, Justin. Let's see. Oh, and Kayla. Very good, y'all. So your classes are in Brightspace. That is where everything is graded. It's where you're going to find your assignments, and I'll show you that here at the end of our session today. The learning community is actually in what's called SNHU Connect. Has anybody gotten a chance to explore that yet? SNHU Connect is outside your classroom space. It's kind of like an SNHU University Facebook. That's the easiest way for me to kind of tell you what it is. It's only for students. There's only a couple of staff members or faculty members that are in there, but it's outside your space. And in SNHU Connect, you can find clubs, organizations, there's hobby groups. I mean, we have everything from like the paranormal club to the military club to the spouses, there's psychology club. There's so many clubs like Nerds Unite, there's gaming clubs, there's so many things that are out there. But you also have IDS 105 and SNHU 107 are two classes that have a dedicated learning space. So what that means is that there's a dedicated page for one for SNHU 107, one for IDS 105, and that's where I'll post like helpful reminders of how to find the webinars from week to week. I'll share some of those just-in-time resources, those focus videos. I put some motivational stuff in there because sometimes we just need somebody to remind us like, I can do this. And then I also always in there make sure that you know, like, or I answer questions on like assignments that might be coming up. If it's a general question, you're going to notice I'm always going to tell you if you have a specific question, always reach out to your instructor. But it's so cool to see students that have taken these classes and that are taking these classes interact together. A lot of times students answer the questions for me, which is pretty cool. But and I'm already seeing that y'all have been using some of the resources and joining some of the clubs. Heck yeah. So that is what the learning community is. It's a space dedicated to you and your success. We want you to do amazing here at SNHU, and we want you to be connected to our university and be an active part of our SNHU family. I do want to remind you, if you've tried to log into SNHU Connect and it hasn't, like your login isn't active yet, don't stress, because it can take about 7 to 10 days after you register for your SNHU classes for that login to be created and be active. So don't stress. Again, nothing's graded in there. It's just an extra space that's there for you and your support, okay? I don't know if Dr. J was here with us today. I know he was coming from another session. So hold on just a sec. Dr. J, are you here? I don't think he was going to be able to make it with us today. So I'm going to be Dr. J today too. I want to introduce you guys to Dr. James Winfield is our Associate Dean of First Year Experience and Retention Strategies. He had another meeting at the exact same time. But I wanted to introduce you to one of your academic deans because it's really good for you to know who is working behind the scenes for you in our academic leadership here at the university. Some fun facts about Dr. J, that's what his students like to call him, just because you got to learn some things about me, is he's a big Marvel fan. Usually that incites some differences in opinions. Apparently there's the Marvel fans, and then what are the other ones? I forget. If he was here, he would tag me in it. But I know that there's a big difference about all the movie fans that are out there. DC, thank you, Justin, DC. But he loves to cook. He's a family man, and him and his team are a resource for you. One of the teams that Dr. J oversees is called our Peer Mentor Group. And they are students just like you who are further down their academic journey. And you can actually apply to work with them just to kind of help you get situated with your first couple of classes and get into a routine. And they just help with all kinds of life skills. It's not academic tutoring. The peer mentors are more like a personal support system, just coming from somebody who's been a student like you. If you want to know more about that, your advisor can definitely get with you. Now, pop quiz again. Do you know what our university mascot is? Anybody know? Pop quiz. You guys are quick today. So I'm super impressed right now. Oh, wait, did we slow down? Do we not know what the university mascot is for SNHU? Yep, there you go. The Penman. The Penman is the university mascot. Because our university mascot is the Penman, Dr. J always likes to use the acronym PEN to help students just like you know how to navigate their journey here at SNHU. So he always wants to remind students to persist. You're going to have some really great days, and you're going to have some days that just are not so wonderful. And you're going to have some that are just kind of somewhere in the between. Life could be going great outside the classroom, and the classroom life is tough, or vice versa. You have to keep going and persisting one day at a time, one foot in front of the other as you go after your educational dreams and goals, right? He also always encourages students to engage, just like y'all are here, chatting back and forth in the chat. When you're in your classes, utilizing that discussion board as a way to get to know other students, joining clubs, even as an online student. Yes, you can totally join clubs. They do a lot of online meetings. A lot of it is online. He wants you to get involved, get to know your faculty, get to know the departments and resources that are here for your success at SNHU. And you do that by networking, putting yourself out there, getting a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, and trying some new things. That is what we want you to focus on as you move through this term. You're not alone. You're going to hear all term long in both classes and in my webinars every week, wow, there's so much support here for your success. There's a lot of resources for you to use. I know there's so much, it can sometimes be overwhelming. So start with one, put yourself out there and connect for your success. For how many of you, is this your first time ever in school? Justin, I love that. Use the power method. Heck yeah. You've been doing your reading for SNHU 107. So if it's your first time in school, where are you at? Maybe you're somebody that has started school before and it didn't work out for whatever reason, and now you're back. Where are you at? And there's some of you that are going to be kind of in the middle, right? No matter where you're coming from, your journey starts now. This is new. This is going to be a new adventure. It's going to be a new chapter, and you have a lot of support along the way. So things that didn't work out before, or things that you're nervous about, just remember you're not alone and you have a lot of support. And one of the biggest things that you will hear from me, and you'll hear from a lot of our university resources, is to remind yourself of this. You got this. Say it out loud, I got this. You are worth this journey. You are worth putting in the time. You are worth putting in the energy. Your goals and dreams are yours. And so you have to go after them. You're going to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to do some hard things. You're going to have to make some hard choices. You're going to have to sacrifice some stuff. At the end of the day, it's always worth it. So when you find yourself being a little overwhelmed, or maybe you get stuck, or you just didn't have the best week, just remember, deep breath. I got this. You got this. We know it, and we believe in you. Okay. So what I'm going to do is run through some things that are common for both classes. I just wanted to go over kind of what you to expect in your classes. Then I have some tips for your success, and then I'm going to share the classroom space real quick. Does that sound good? So for those of you that are taking SNHU 107, SNHU 107, you have 1,000 points in your classes. You'll notice this is straight from your syllabus. Y'all, you can find your syllabus underneath the Start Here area of your classroom in Brightspace. So go into Brightspace to your classroom, click on Start Here, and you're going to be able to see the syllabus. Review it. It's going to go over your overview of what you're going to be graded on, has policies and procedures from the class. Make sure that you know it, okay? SNHU 107, you're going to have 5 discussion assignments, 5 journals, 3 warm-ups, and a project, all right? The discussions, no matter what class you are taking here at SNHU, when you have a discussion assignment assigned, your initial discussion post is always due by Thursdays. Okay, Thursdays, 11:59 p.m. And then you want to respond to at least 2 classmates' posts by Sundays at 11:59 p.m. Does that sound good? So we got with initial post, which is where you're going to answer a series of questions, whatever is due for the assignment. That's due by Thursdays, 11:59 p.m. And then 2 peer responses are due by Sunday. If you want to work earlier in the week on those, totally do that as convenient for your schedule. If you want to respond to more than 2 of your classmates, totally fine. The biggest thing is always make sure that you answer the pieces and parts of all the questions. Don't just write a sentence or 2, y'all. It's not going to work. You need to, when you look at your discussions, you're looking for a paragraph or 2. They don't have to be real long-winded. Like you're not looking for a page here. Couple paragraphs, answer the questions, use examples, be honest, be yourself, always be kind, right? But then when you respond to your classmates, same thing. Don't just be like, hey, Melanie, that was a great post. I feel the same. The end. No. You want to be like, hey, Melanie, I also think that. I have some questions about this. Or, hey, have you ever seen this? Or, hey, have you ever thought about that? What about using this resource? Do your due diligence, get to know your classmates, write more than a couple of sentences. Does that help? I saw some questions in there. It doesn't need, don't stress. If you wrote more than 2 paragraphs, y'all, there's not a word count. Okay. There's not a limit. There's not a maximum. It's okay. As you get going in your classes and as you get going in your routine, you're going to find what works for you. All right. I just don't want to stress you out. Like if you've already done something, leave it. You don't have to redo it. Now, I always get the question too, like classes start on Monday. Is there a certain time I have to log in? No, there is not. However, you want to make sure your assignments are due for that week by their due date. So when you have module 1, week 1 in either one of your classes, whatever assignment is assigned for you that week, that is what you're focusing on in module 1. Okay. So your module opens on Monday and it's going to close that following Sunday. That next Monday kicks off week 2. Does that make sense? So your week 1 assignments, you do in week 1. Your week 2 assignments, you do in week 2, all the way through week 8. All right. So we know about discussions. One tip with discussions, a lot of students like to write their discussion work up in like a Microsoft Word document or something compatible, and then they copy and paste it into the discussion board and they save a backup copy just in case. You know, there can be little tech issues that happen and sometimes it goes poof. So a lot of students tell me they like to do that. So that's a top tip for you. So we know about discussions, journal assignments. So for SNHU 107, you have some journal assignments. There is a template, which means that there's a document already created that you are going to open up and be able to type right in it. If you're noticing, there's a lot of me mentioning Microsoft Word or something compatible. You do want to have Microsoft Word or something compatible for any of your classes here at the university. Cool thing is, as an SNHU student, you get Office 365 for free as an SNHU student. So you can go underneath Online Student Services, click on Office 365 and other software. I'll show you before we get done today too. Follow the prompts and get that downloaded to your system. So if you don't have it, don't worry about going to buy it, because you can get it for free as an SNHU student. So you're going to need it for things like projects and journal assignments in both of your classes. Okay, everybody with me so far? So we talked about discussions, journals, warm-ups. Warm-ups are kind of like an open book quiz. They're in both classes. This is something, do not let the word quiz scare you. It's just a warm-up. It's an overview. Review your material, take the quiz. It auto grades, so you see your score right away. So if you want to go back and retake it, you can have multiple attempts to take it to earn your best score. Okay. Project. SNHU 107 has a final project that you're going to turn in Module 7. We have an entire webinar dedicated literally to that whole project, and pieces and parts of it you're going to work on all term long. So it's not going to be anything new. You're just going to be kind of building off of what you've worked on through the term, connecting the dots and putting it together in week 7. Okay. Great question, Justin. There's not an actual exam. No. Both SNHU 107 and IDS 105, your big heavy hitter assignment is the project at the end. Okay, so just a reminder, you have discussions, journals, warm-ups, projects. Discussions, initial post, no matter what your class, due by Thursdays. Peer responses, minimum of 2, due by Sundays, or earlier is convenient for you. Journals, warm-ups, when those are assigned for you during your week, those are always due by Sundays of the week that they're assigned, or you can turn them in earlier. Okay, and then that project, same thing, it's going to be Sunday. All right, SNHU 107, you guys feeling good? Awesome. All right, IDS 105. Very similar. You're going to notice there's 1,000 points in your class too. Y'all have 6 discussions. Same thing. Initial post due by Thursdays. Peer responses minimum 2 by Sunday. You can always do it earlier if you want. Some students like to tell me that they like to post their discussion posts on like Monday, Tuesday. right up at the beginning of the week. And then they like to respond to any classmates who have posted by like Wednesday, Thursday. And then it opens up their week to do other assignments. And they like to be done on Saturdays if they can. And then it gives them Sunday to kind of like relax and reset. So do what works for you. Everybody works different hours. Everybody has different competing priorities, but those are just some tips that a lot of students tell me every term. Like if I'm able to kind of work ahead a little earlier in the week, then I'm not so frazzled towards the end of the week. Okay. So discussions, we know about those. Journals, very similar for IDS 105, except for IDS 105, you don't have a template for your journals. Okay. You're just going to open up a blank Microsoft Word document and answer the questions that are asked of you. All right. One warm up there is graded. And then you have what's called project drafts. So you're going to have 4 project drafts, IDS 105. You're going to be working on a project all term long. You're going to pick a certain scenario. The scenarios are going to be listed in your class. You're going to pick a scenario and you're going to answer the questions in certain weeks and you're going to write these project drafts. Those you have a template for, which means you're going to open up this project draft template. It's going to have the questions and you just type right in it and answer your questions from week to week. You're going to do this 4 different weeks throughout the term. And again, you have a project, which is basically taking the work you've done on those 4 project drafts, cleaning it up, making sure it's all set and ready to go from your graded feedback from your instructor, and turning it in week 7. Okay? IDS 105, does that make sense for y'all? Let's see, I want to make sure I got all the questions in here. So you'll notice very similar yet different assignments. Again, I encourage you to go through your classroom, click on things, get comfortable. You're not going to break anything. Find your syllabus, review things. If you're stuck or you have questions, make sure you reach out to your instructor, okay? So a couple of tips for your success. Tip number 1, prioritize your time. Y'all, I cannot tell you this enough. Who has made time or has thought about when you're going to do that SNHU studying, when you're going to do homework, when you're going to be reading things, when you're going to be working on things? Some of you might get up before anybody else in your house and do it. Some of you might work it in the nooks and crannies of your day. Some of you, it might be after everybody goes to bed. Some of you might be at breaks and lunch hours at work. Some of you might be taking public transportation and like you're working on stuff when you're like on the bus or in the Uber, whatever it might be. You have to dedicate some time. I know that one of the best things about online education is that you don't have to like physically have your like body in a seat somewhere, right? However, when you are online, you really have to be self-motivated to make sure you get your work done. So I encourage you to set some time, few hours, throughout the week, and just really focus in on like when you can do that study time. Okay. It makes a big difference. I promise you. Every time students get off track, I'm like, well, when are you working on your SNHU stuff? Like, have you set aside time or do you kind of have like a plan? And they're like, no. Once they do that, it changes their whole world. Okay. Tip number 2, y'all are already getting an A+ in this, which is all about making connections. Get to know your classmates, get to know your faculty, get to know the different SNHU departments. And I saw some notes in the chat about like how some of you just don't manage your time well. Well, I'm telling you, you're going to learn. SNHU 07 focuses heavily on learning how to prioritize your time and manage your time. And it also gets brought up in IDS 105. But you're going to learn. You're going to get in a routine that works for you. Sometimes it takes a couple of weeks to kind of get in a routine. That's where reach out to your advisor, reach out to your instructor, see how they can best support your success and make a plan for you. I see some of you talking about procrastination. I'm telling you, that's like an art form. A lot of students struggle with procrastination until they mess up on something. And then they like learn real quick that whatever they're going to put off the most, do first. Okay. I love always that. And I'm the same way. Like mine's more of a personal procrastination, but like, I don't like laundry. Anybody else with me? Like I will wash it, dry it, and then it goes to the laundry basket to like collect dust. I tell you. But if I would just put it away right away, it opens up all that free space in my brain of me thinking about it and like it being on that to-do list in the back of my mind. So somebody shared with me once, do first what you put off last or want to put off the most. And it makes just a really big difference. Yes, Kayla, that mountain that's on your couch. We're the same human right now. Tip number 3 is to purchase your ebook and get connected. So both of your classes, IDS 105 and SNHU 107, both have electronic textbooks. You can go right to our SNHU bookstore. You can order it, put in your class code. You're taking it online, add it to cart, check out just like you do on Amazon. Okay. You're going to get an email about how to get everything connected and working to your university email. You have to be checking that university email all the time. Read your course announcements, check your university email multiple times throughout the week because that is how your instructors and the university communicate with you. And I cannot tell you how many times students have missed things or not been able to like maybe redo something because they didn't check their email. So check your email, check your course announcements. They're both really helpful places for your success. But you will get an email once you purchase your book that tells you how to get things connected. It's called the Vital Source app. Underneath the Start Here part of your class, there's a whole section on it. But if you're stuck or you're like, this is just a lot, reach out to your advisor. They are absolute knowledge masters of getting you connected and your ebook all set up. Now, SNHU 107, from time to time, students will see that there's like a loose leaf or a paper version of the book that's out there. It's not always available. Sometimes it's sold out. Sometimes it isn't. But if you purchased that, or if you're thinking that you would like that better, do what works best for you. It's the same thing. I will just tell you that a lot of students, I get it. I'm a reader. I like to hold the book physically, highlight it, touch it. A lot of students are the same way, but once you get used to using those electronic textbooks, you just don't go back, because it's really easy to have it on your phone, on the app, take it with you, highlight things in it. So you just have to do what works best for you. But if you do see that loose leaf paper copy, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. It is the same thing. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that I told you that. And yes, I do have some students that purchase both. So it's just do what works best for you. You can find the bookstore. When you log into Brightspace at the top, you'll see this little help icon. Click the arrow to online student services. That's where you'll find all the different departments that are here at the university, including where you can get that Office 365 and other software. Okay, this is an example of what that book email looks like. It tells you reminder of ordering your books. Here's how you do it. And then you'll get an email that tells you how to get everything connected. Okay, I know new books do have a really good smell. Y'all, I'm not alone. Tip number 4 is backup plan. Y'all, this is a big one. Things happen. You're going to have the best plans laid out and time made out to study and all the things, and stuff comes up. You might have work schedules that change. You could have babies come early, babies come late. You could have to travel unexpectedly for work. You could have somebody get sick in your family. You could get sick. You could break a finger. You could break an arm. We could have natural disasters. And we had Hurricane Helene come through that took out a lot of students, power out, things happen, Wi-Fi breaks. I had a student once that their kiddo dropped their tablet, shattered it, their toddler. I've had my own laptops crash in the middle of the term. Things happen. And what I'm telling you is to make sure that you have a backup plan. So have you thought about what you'll do if your internet goes out? So we all know that most of us, for our smartphones, it can be like a personal hotspot, right? That's a great option. But also don't forget about your local libraries. Don't forget about friends and family. If your internet goes out for some reason and you are having trouble accessing it, or computers break or laptops break, things like that, reach out to your family and friends, see if the library have computers too, see if you can utilize some of those things to just keep you moving. Always write down your instructor's phone number and email address, and the same with your advisor. Every term, do it, because when we know that something's going on, we're able to help you and support you and either get you back on track and make up those missed assignments, or know what's happening and know that we're going to be waiting for your work to come in. So it's always really important to have your instructor's email address and phone number written down. Same with your advisor, just in case you ever need it. Same thing too, like I said, we know about Wi-Fi options. If you have a computer, tablet, phone, however you're doing school, and something breaks, what are you going to do? Know where to go. Also, a lot of restaurants, coffee shops all have Wi-Fi. Just some things to think about, okay? Because they come up. You're not going to be the first one. You're not going to be the last one. Tip number 5 kind of goes with making that SNHU time. Know what's on your to-do list, both inside and outside the classroom. All of you have a lot of stuff going on already. You're busy. We're all busy. But now you've added school to this schedule. So you're going to have to kind of get creative with your to-do list, but knowing what you're responsible for from day to day, from week to week, really helps you feel just a little bit more organized and not feel as overwhelmed. Tip number 6 is communication is key. You guys have already heard me say so much, reach out to your instructors, reach out to your advisors. For some reason, students are so nervous to reach out to faculty. Y'all, we want to help you. We want you to do well. We would rather you reach out with any kind of a question, or if you're not sure on something, than to not turn something in or not do well on something. So reach out. Every single university employee, faculty, and staff has an email address for the university. You can always email. Okay. Check on your classroom space underneath the announcements. There's a My Instructor announcement. Have you guys all seen that? Have you seen who is your faculty member? Usually they have a picture of them or something that they love, and then they have information about them and how to get a hold of them and if they have office hours and things like that. But a lot of them a lot of faculty will text message. Some of them you can call on the phone. Some they'll set up Teams meetings just like this. If you're stuck or you have questions, just know, like, don't hesitate to reach out. There's a lot of resources here at the university too. There's always a way to be available for somebody. So just make sure you're connecting for your success. Like I mentioned earlier, is you guys, we're not scary. I know it probably seems overwhelming to reach out to faculty because you're like, oh, I'm new and I'm nervous and I'm not sure I'm doing this right. I promise you, I have students that email me on the daily and ask all kinds of questions. And that's what I'm here for. Like, we wouldn't be here without students, right? So we want you to be successful. We want you to do well. Like, don't be nervous to reach out to us. Okay. Just remember, like, I got this and I can reach out to them because trust me, we want you to reach out to us. We can help you and help you answer your questions and support your success. Like I said, the webinars, we'll go over content every single week of the module. So this is just a quick link, and I'll put these in the chat when I get done too, about how to access those webinars, whether you're taking SNHU 107 or IDS 105. These webinars, again, the webinars are a little bit longer. They're usually about 30 minutes or less. Some of them maybe 15, 20. But they're more detailed on your assignments, the concepts you're covering, where those focus videos are just quick little things, okay? Tip number 8 is to know your success team. So have you thought about like who is supporting your success? Maybe who is picking up some of the things in your home environment so that you can do your homework and do school stuff. Maybe who's going to help review some of your academic writing if you haven't written academically for a while. Who are those people in your life? You know, who are those cheerleaders? But also, who are the ones that like genuinely are supporting you in your success? They're the ones that will cheer you on, but also the ones that tell you the hard truth, like, hey, you've been putting off that assignment, like, let's get it going, right? So just know who those people are in your life because it can really just help you feel confident in what you're doing. Tip number 9 is to use your feedback. So every week, your faculty, your instructors will be hard at work, y'all, grading your assignment. So for example, next week, okay, so next week your class starts on Monday, right? You need to have that initial discussion post due on Thursday. And then by Sunday, you want to have at least replies to 2 of your classmates and then any of your other assignments that might be due for module 1, okay? So Monday, Sunday. Once everything is turned in on Sunday, faculty have from that next Monday, so the new module, we have 7 days to grade. So some faculty grade as things come in. Some faculty grade throughout the week. Some faculty, you might not see your grades until Sunday night. Okay, so just know if you ever have questions on something like, hey, did you get this? Or did I do okay on that? And you know, always email your instructor and just ask. But the biggest thing is make sure you're checking your grade book all the time. And when you see your grade book, it's going to have the assignment, it's going to have the grade listed, how many points you got. And then there's going to be this little like view comments or like view assessment, the rubric. When you click on that, you can go line by line of how your instructor graded you, and they're going to tell you things that you did great. They're going to tell you things that you might need to work on or resources that you might want to use for your success. But every term I have students that are like, it's Monday of week 2 and faculty has not graded my week 1 work yet. That's okay because we have 7 days. So I always like to tell students that. But if you have questions or you're not sure if you turned something in, send a quick email to your instructor. This term I had like 3 or 4 students that sent me an email like week 1 and was like, hey, I posted my discussion post. I just want to make sure like you can see it too. Yes, I can see it, you know, or hey, actually, no, I can't. Are you sure you submitted it? And one student just like forgot to click submit. So things like that happen. So don't be afraid to reach out, use your feedback. That's what it's there for. And then tip number 10 is to use your resources. This is not a comprehensive list, but this is a list of some of the big support systems that are here at the university, the SNHU resources. Like we have the wonderful academic support team has 24/7 tutoring, which you could connect with the tutor when it works best for you. It's all online. Written feedback. If you have not written academically in a long time or ever, or you're nervous about your writing, you can actually write up your rough draft. This can be for journal assignments, project drafts if you're IDS 105, project work, discussions. You can write that up and submit it to the academic support team under written feedback, and I'll show you where that is. And you'll select some areas for the tutor to focus on, and they'll give you dedicated feedback within 12 hours. I'm telling you, the academic support team, every term students tell me how thankful they are that they used it. Some of them waited to like the midterm and they're like, why have I not been doing this all term? So I would definitely reach out to them. We have the learning community webinars that are here for your support. They're all very similar, just like this. I'm going to talk to you just like this. I'm going to walk you through things, show you how to click and where to find stuff. We have the SNHU career team. The career team holds a lot of virtual events, and a lot of their website has a lot of resources for students, even now, like looking for internships, part-time work. It's a great resource, and you have it forever. You get it as an SNHU alum, which is really pretty cool. Academic advisors, y'all, how many of you have talked to your academic advisor like 900 times as you're getting ready to start classes? They're absolute gems of humans. They're so helpful. They can connect you to everything. If you ever get stuck, please don't hesitate to reach out to them too. We have the wonderful IT help desk in case something technical is not working. The library is incredible. Both SNHU 107 and IDS 105 for your classes. There's not really the need to like research things or have to cite things. Obviously, if you use anybody else's work or any kind of research information as you're putting together assignments, you must cite that work. But a lot of it can just be personal thought too. But if you do need to cite anything, the library has wonderful resources on how to cite things, what to do, what to look at. Then you have SNHU Connect, which all the clubs and organizations. And then SNHU Wellness is an awesome resource too that kind of just works through like stress management tips and like working through anxiety and just like if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's a great resource. And outside the classroom, it looks different for everybody, but you have so many people that are pulling for you in your success. So just remember that you have so many resources and that you're not alone here at the university. Okay. Two, before I share the classroom space, just a reminder in case you hopped on here a little bit late, is that the student organizations and clubs, the IDS 105 and SNHU 107 learning communities for SNHU Connect, it can take 7 to 10 days for your login to be active, okay? So hold on just a sec. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to flip. I want to double check a couple of questions really quick. And this is recorded. I think I saw a couple of people that said that you just hopped in and it's a lot of information. It is a lot of information. That's okay. But this is recorded. I'm going to have it up here within a couple of hours after we get done, and you can go back and watch it as many times as you need to and pause where you might need to too. Okay. I'm just scrolling really quick through the questions before I go through the classroom space. Advisors are wonderful. Like they literally, you can call them, they can walk you through where to click, how to find stuff. It's just really important for you to reach out. So I wanted to make sure, can you all see my screen? So I'm going to run through IDS 105 really quick, and then I'll run through SNHU 107. This is a classroom space. So like I mentioned, you have course menu up here at the top. I wanted to point out that if you click on academic support, when you click on academic support, it's going to pull up the menu of all their services. Okay. So right here is where you can see workshops. You can click and attend and see what the schedule looks like. You can connect with tutoring. Here's that written feedback. So this is where you can upload and submit any of your SNHU assignments. It has to be university related. It's a rough draft. You can submit it. You select the areas you want them to tutor on, and then you'll get feedback back from your tutor within 12 hours. So I wanted to show you that that is where that's at. There's also a little bit more of that one-on-one peer tutoring that's different than the peer mentors. This is academic based. And then there's even some academic coaching. If you want to know more, you're not sure on some things, check out the frequently asked questions section. But I like to point this out to students because sometimes you just miss that it's like literally right there. Okay. So I wanted to show you that, but I also wanted to show you that underneath this help icon, if you click that down arrow, there's a quick link right off the bat to the IT service desk. But you also have these really cool student tutorial videos. These walk you through in a video format of utilizing Brightspace, how to click on things, where to find things. They're just quick little YouTube videos. So I wanted to point those out because a lot of students don't click on that. And if you're new to online education or it's been a minute and like the navigation and the technology is kind of overwhelming, these are wonderful videos for you to watch. If you click on online student services, it's going to pull up all the teams and departments here at SNHU. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad that you guys have been watching those videos. They're super helpful and a lot of students don't even realize they're there. So this is online student services. Here's all the departments and how to access them here at SNHU. So like I mentioned, here's the bookstore. I always like to tell students, click the blue, it gets you to where you want to go. Click the blue, it gets you to where you want to go. Quick link to advising. There's another link to academic support. There's also the Brightspace learning environment here, how to navigate everything, financial services, the library. This is that Office 365 and other software. Okay, so like I mentioned, you get Office 365 for free as an SNHU student. That's like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Click on the blue, gets to where you want to go, and then walk through the prompts to get it downloaded to your system. If you get stuck, you have questions, reach out directly to the IT help desk or even get with your advisor and they can connect you with that. There's a quick link too to SNHU Connect and the career services team, and SNHU Wellness is here too. So there's a lot of stuff just right here at your fingertips. And I'd like to make sure that I point that out for all of you. So that is how to get your books, how to find your resources, academic support, the help desk, that Office 365. Now I wanted to show you, you'll notice in all of your classes, no matter what you're taking. So I'm in IDS 105 right now, but you're always going to have the same kind of titles across the top. You're always going to have announcement section. That's where you want to make sure you're checking those at least multiple times throughout the week. You're always going to have a quick link to get to the discussion boards in your class. You can quickly get to assignments. You can quickly get to your grades. And then if you click on learning modules, when you click on learning modules, it's going to pull up on the side, if you guys see this, all of the weeks, right? So here's week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way through week 8. But I wanted to point out this start here area. This is where you'll find your syllabus. So IDS 105, it's right here. There's also some helpful videos, some welcome things, but there's also this whole section on vital source information, which that's your like electronic book connection. Okay. So there's a lot of like quick guides in here and things that'll help you get all situated. All right. Now, what I wanted to show you, this is the true for all classes, but especially for IDS 105. Let's click on Module 1. Remember, Module 1 is what you do week 1. Your class is 8 weeks long. So week 1, Module 1, week 2, Module 2, all the way through week 8. Okay, everybody got that? Sometimes students get in there like, oh my gosh, I have to do all of this in week 1? No, week by week, okay? But you want to pay attention to what is due from week to week, and always make sure you click the blue, gets you to where you want to go, and look through and review the objectives of your modules from week to week. The module overview, there's a lot of reading and scrolling. Scroll down and then click over, arrow over. You always just want to take some time and just kind of run through the class and get comfortable. You'll notice for some of your classes, there's a lot of reading content within the module, because sometimes I'll have students, especially in IDS 105, be like, I didn't see this concept talked about in the textbook assigned reading. It wasn't there. It was within your module. So always make sure you're checking that. So you'll notice there's a lot of content and reading in here. Break it up into chunks as you go through and work on stuff. But I just wanted to show you how you can kind of see like there's reading within the module. There's always a required resources section that tells you what chapters you're reading. If there's any like videos or extra reading or links to articles, it's always all right here. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I just showed you guys that real quick. I know that was kind of some fast scrolling, but there's an entire webinar dedicated to everything week 1, module 1 for both SNHU 107 and for IDS 105. But you'll notice too, if you scroll through here, you have your discussion. In both classes, it's like an introduction week. IDS 105, you're introducing yourself, sharing a little bit about you, and then you're going to make sure that you're going to be answering a couple of the questions about authentic self and social identities. Okay, so you're going to see those questions, you're going to be answering, you're going to get some ideas of how to respond to your classmates. One of the things I wanted to point out is when you do go to the discussions, you want to click on the discussion. This is in any of your classes, and you will see, let me view it as a student here really quick. Sorry, not as a student. Hold on a second. I forgot it takes some of that stuff off for you. So let's go back to learning modules. Let's go back to module 1 discussion. And what I wanted to show you really quick is when you have your discussions, you'll be able to see all of this stuff here, and you'll be able to actually start, like there'll be a new thread button is what you'll see. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. And then I wanted to make sure that you guys knew too, that with your assignments, like for example, here's that journal assignment, always click the guidelines in rubric and explore through it. It's going to tell you how to do it. It's going to tell you what to submit. The rubric shows you how it's graded. Okay, so that's IDS 105, just a quick run through, and then let's go into SNHU 107. So this is an example of what I wanted to show you. This is an old class, so don't pay attention to dates and stuff that is on here. But like when you log into your classroom space, you're going to see like who your instructor is, usually a photo of them or something about them, and their email address is always right there. Okay, announcements, the most recent ones will always be listed over here, but you can always view all the announcements. All right, same thing here, same menu at the top. You got academic support, you got that help area for all the videos and online student services, and we go to course menu and we go to learning modules. Same thing for SNHU 107. You want to click on that start here. And when you do that, you're going to see the copy of the syllabus. And again, you're going to see all the bookstore information. And then it's going to also go through anything that's helpful for that first week. Module 1, again, you both have webinars dedicated to everything week 1. How to find the discussion board, where to click, how to do your journals, how to do your warm-ups. I'm not going to go through all that today, but I wanted to at least show you some ideas of where to click at, okay? So you'll notice here, SNHU 107, same thing. You have that discussion that's right here, that 1-1. Click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. Here's all the questions you're going to be answering. So you're introducing yourself, sharing a little bit about you. You're going to be talking about ownership and motivation for your academic journey. You'll also get some ideas of how to respond to peers. There's that start new thread button. So you'll click on like start a new thread. You'd enter your subject line like week 1, always spell check, and then you can type right in here, just like this, okay? What I wanted to remind you too, and then you can always click on post, and that's how you'll post it. Like I said, some students like to put it in Microsoft Word, copy and paste it over here. If you check this little box that says subscribe to thread, anytime somebody responds to your thread, it should email it to you or give you a notification. So I want to make sure that I showed you that. And then let's see, so that's discussions. Let's go back to module 1. And then you're going to see you have that warm up, click the blue, guides you through how to get started. And then it just kind of gives you a review of kind of like what's coming up for the next week. Okay. All right. That is everything for week 1, module 1, for everything that you guys have in your classroom spaces, plus some reminders of like how to get started for your success. Did this help? Did it help? How are we feeling? Are we feeling good? We feel better? Okay, good. Sometimes it's just helpful to have somebody like show you like this is where you see things, this is what you do. But at the end of the day, like don't forget to reach out to your instructors, reach out to your advisors. You're not alone with feeling like all the emotions. Like it can take a minute to like remember like how to write academically or like how to kind of get organized for your success. You're going to get it. You're going to get through it. Like what did I say at the beginning? You have to remind yourself of what? I got this. You can do this. We are so excited to officially welcome you to the SNHU family. You'll see these webinars from week to week. If you ever can't find them or you need them and you can't find it or you're not sure where to get it, just don't hesitate to send me an email or post a note in the learning community and I'll get back to y'all with that. But just be excited, y'all. It's going to be such a good time. You're going to learn a lot about yourself in both of these classes. They're both wonderful classes. I teach both of them. Like I tell students, you're going to learn a lot about you. You're going to learn a lot about the university. You're going to learn a lot about prioritizing your time and just go with the flow and enjoy it. Because for many of you, you've waited a long time to be here. Whether this is your first time in school or you're back to try it again, this is your time. And we're just really excited for you and your success. So welcome to the family. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week and enjoy the weekend. And remember, get ready to kick off your success as you start classes on Monday. I'm going to work on getting this recording downloaded and then I'll get it up. And I wish you all the best. Thanks for joining with me today. It was sure fun to have everybody here and I love the conversation. You guys sure made me smile today, which is one of my favorite parts of these live webinars. So just remember, you got this, you're worth it, and have the best week 1. Go get them on Monday, y'all. Bye, everybody.